I'm not sure where we would be in the world right now if there was no internet. How can we even begin to measure the impact of technology on the human race and in general life on this planet? Of course, there are amazing things that have happened because of the internet. The sharing of human information is one amazing thing. I mean, in seconds, I can learn all I want to about any subject. As much fun as we make about Wikipedia, sites like Wikipedia and such are really amazing tools. Recently, I wanted to know the difference between a yellow warbler and a goldfinch. And in literally a second, I found out that an American goldfinch have shorter, thicker bills and darker wings than yellow warblers. Now, if I ended the sermon right there, you have learned something new today. I found out that, again, charting the benefits of the internet is not a job for me, but historians for years to come. Now, of course, there are also some incredibly challenging things that we are facing because of the internet. Recent observations about the dark side include all kinds of unfortunate issues, like the spread of disinformation, the hate speech that comes from anonymous comments by those who are unwilling to take responsibility for their actions, and the spiritual and psychological pressure it causes young folks, and actually folks of all ages, who become consumers of unhealthy patterns of internet consumption. For those of you who don't know, the internet didn't start with Al Gore. It actually started from research done by the Advanced Research Projects Agency, ARPA, of the U.S. Department of Defense, or also known as DARPA. The very first transmission on what was named the ARPANET was on October 29, 1969, where Stanford hosted one of the 4 original network nodes, along with the University of California, UCLA, the University of California, Santa Barbara, and my alma mater, the University of Utah. I was not there in '69, although I am getting older. Now, to get a little technical, the internet nodes were interface message processors, IMPs, connected by 56 kilobyte per second telephone lines. Now, I've actually seen one of those original nodes when I served as the Vice President of Development at the Computer History Museum in Mountain View, California. In fact, I was there on the day that Al Gore came to visit. After his Supreme Court-fueled loss of the presidency, he toured the collection shortly thereafter. On that day, we were told not to joke about him inventing the internet, a long-repeated exaggeration of his association with its inception. Well, of course, as we walked around the museum and we came to that internet node, which is about so high and so wide, I bit my tongue. And his friend who was with him said, "Hey, Al, didn't you invent this?" At which point I tried very hard not to laugh, in the hopes they were going to donate money, but that's another story. What is clear about the internet is the incredible level of human connection that it has brought to the world for good and not so good. And as you bridgers prepare to take your next steps into the world, there are some lessons in this story. I know I spoke last week about the perils of reductionism, but if I really were to reduce the points of most of my sermons on Sundays, they would often be about the decision and choices that we make and act upon in the world. Well, today's no different, except I want to throw this concept in there at some point in our lives. We too are all nodes. We, each one of us, are connecting points. We are connecting points for friends and for family, for information and news. We are connecting points for the spread of goodness or the injection of anger, hate, and distrust. We are linked to other connecting points, which are part of our network, and at times the original source of the signal that gets spread out into the world comes from us. Of the current 8 principles of Unitarian Universalism that UUCF looks to for inspiration, number 7 is well known to be the respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. Well, of course, with just a little change, you could say respect for the World Wide Web of all existence of which we are a part. And either way, Bridgers, as you prepare for what will come next in your young adulthood, I'm hoping that your time here at UUCF has prepared you to support you as you move more fully into your place as a node in the interconnected web of all existence. Now, here at UUCF, we are an institution of religion that has really tried to do our best to practice these principles and values at the heart of this faith tradition. And although we are often challenged at living our ideals, when we are at our best, we really do try to be a tradition that doesn't just talk about helping this be a better world. We actually try to practice it. We try to practice being a connection point in the world that amplifies and spreads goodness, kindness, compassion, and love. And if and hopefully when you are faced with these decisions that we all face in our lives, you will hopefully think back to what this faith tradition has tried to breathe into you. Actually, I hope that these words from writer and activist Jack D. Forbes will resonate with you when thinking about this Unitarian Universalist faith. Religion is, in reality, living. Our religion is not what we profess or what we say or what we proclaim. Our religion is what we do, what we desire, what we seek, what we dream about, what we fantasize, what we think, all these things, 24 hours a day. One's religion, then, is one's life, not merely the ideal life, but the life as it is actually lived. And religion is not a prayer. It's not a church. It's not theistic or atheistic. It has little to do with what people call religion. It is, in fact, our every act. For you youth, this faith tradition has done what it can to contribute to how you will now practice your religion as you live more fully into being those nodes. And whether you do that in association with any physical congregation or not, even though I hope you do find one wherever you end up. That's why I always feel it's so important to talk about choices at the bridging service, because living your religion, practicing your faith in so many ways is about choices you will make now that you have more freedom to make choices, whether dealing with today's or tomorrow's opportunities or challenges. So from this day forward, you will make decisions, you will take actions, and you have many more bridges to cross. You will also struggle, you will make mistakes, you will have failures, and you will have successes. As you can see from the state of the world today, my generation has made plenty of mistakes. We all do. But you will learn and you will grow and you will continue to build your ever-evolving wholeness. Now, just one more thing that I like to tell the bridging seniors every year. I hope that you go forth to experience the world and for at least a while not be weighed down with all of this heavy responsibility. Because when you are ready, I hope you will continue to care about this faith. We are not always perfect, but that's pretty much a given because we're human. But we've done what we could to provide this bridge, fill you with hope, and support you. Now it's my turn to cry, Courtney. Please remember, through all of the struggle and learning and evolution, even when our web of connection to each other is distant and the signal fades, you are loved. You've been raised here, and we have watched you and guided you and cared for you. You have fed our hearts, raised our spirits, and taught us many lessons. You will always be part of this loving community, always. Whether far or near, we will never stop calling each other to be our best selves, together. We will never stop trying to spread the transforming power of love. And even in the hardest of hours, in the darkest of nights, and in the moments of greatest doubt, we will support each other with the ever constant need of working for a better world. May that be so. Bless you, and amen.